In the opening scene, we see a meteor that strikes on the Earth's surface. It spreads many parasites from outside the body, and these are then fed on by the flies and other insects. A scene is presented in which a fly lands on a man and starts sucking his blood. In the process, it expels a microorganism into his bloodstream that swims deeper and multiplies more. The film then switches to the main character, Malik Khan, a U.S. Marine. He awakens in his secret facility and sees the news of growing rioting and chaos in the city. The aliens and their alien life forms seem to have taken over the city and are spreading throughout the population at a fast pace. Suddenly, he sees some bugs crawling into his room through a small hole, and he sprays them to death. He also applies repellent spray to his body to keep him away from the bites. Malik has 3 names tattooed on his body: Jay, Bobby, and Paya, the names of his sons and his ex-wife. Malik hasn't seen his family for the past 2 years because he has been out on a secret mission. Currently, Paya and the sons live at a farmhouse with her new partner, Dylan. Paya tries to make her older son, Jay, get along with his stepfather, but Jay doesn't seem to like his stepfather. Paya has been feeling sick recently, probably due to a mosquito bite, but Dylan takes it lightly, thinking that it's just a bug. One night, Malik drives to his house, waking up his 2 sons. He examines their eyes to determine if they are infected, and then invites them to go on a road trip with him. As he is preparing, Jay sees a broken chair in the kitchen, which suggests that there may have been violence there. However, he is so excited to go out with his father that he ignores it. On the way, the children ask what they are going to be doing, but Malik says it is a surprise. Just then, a police car passes by and Malik asks his boys to get down. They then pull over at a gas station to gather some supplies and gas refill. While Malik is out, Jay goes through his stuff and sees a case study and some sketches about the mind-controlling bugs. Later on, the boy questions him about the same, but Malik doesn't reveal much about it. They are stopped by a police car that is patrolling the area several hours later. Though Malik is polite, the officer gets hostile and aggressive, indicating that he isn't in his correct state of mind. Right then, Malik sees something moving behind his eyes and concludes that the cop has been infected by the parasitic organism. He feels he is in danger and decides to leave, but the cop puts him at gunpoint. This leads to a physical fight between the two. Luckily, Malik is able to knock the officer out before escaping. After this event, Malik admits to his boys that this isn't a road trip, it's a mission to save humanity. He reveals that an alien parasite has taken control over the planet and their mother has been infected as well. He claims that up to 50% of the population may be infected with this alien parasite that is reproducing in human bodies. Malik stresses the importance of bringing them to a safe base where scientists are trying to develop a cure for the alien invasion. Meanwhile, they need to be extra careful and protect themselves from the parasites by applying bug spray as a protective barrier. The 2 boys seem to be scared by this revelation, but they agree to accompany their dad in the mission. The next place they go is a grocery store, and Malik tells Jay to keep an eye on his brother while he goes to get some supplies. In this period, an unusual woman approaches the car, scares the children, and makes them run into the store. Malik is able to soothe them down and tells them to keep their heads down so they don't attract attention. On the road, the boys discover that their mother had been acting suspiciously and that she had been suffering from morning sickness and eating strange combinations of food. On hearing this, Malik has a sudden thought that she may be pregnant. He immediately stops the car and gets out to dial his parole officer, Hattie. Here, it is revealed that Malik has been missing for a while now. He doesn't tell Hattie where he is, but he asks her to see if she can find his ex-wife and her partner, who he has locked up in a garage. Afterwards, Hattie takes the police to Malik's house and rescues Paya and Dylan. Later, while interrogating, Paya informs the authorities that Malik was doing weird things, like flashing the torch in her eyes and claiming that she was one of them. At this point, it is disclosed that the aliens aren't real and that Malik has kidnapped his children. We also learn that Malik had been seeing a psychiatrist, which indicates that he isn't mentally stable and that he has been imagining things about world destruction. The feds then speak to Hattie about her experience with Malik. She tells them that he is a good and polite boy, loves his children more than anything and will not hurt them. However, the FBI agents don't believe so because he has a gun with him. Moreover, they tell of the time when Malik lost his temper and savaged his senior officer and was imprisoned for 2 years. The agents then determined to find him out as soon as possible before something bad happened. Later, the FBI heads, Lance Dunn and Shepard West, meet at headquarters and create a team to find Malik. They tell their staff to make all the calls and to look at every CCTV at all gas stations. Shepard thinks that Malik has now twisted his children around his finger and he is a desperate man, and he can turn on them anytime. Meanwhile, Hattie, who is curious about the case, goes to a bar to meet with Raoul, a former comrade of Malik's in the Marine Corps. As they converse, Raoul describes the assault incident that caused Malik to get dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps. In addition, he shows her some of the letters and dark drawings he received from Malik. All of this makes her realize that Malik is suffering from a psychotic disorder, due to which he is having the alien attack hallucination. Meanwhile, Malik and his sons are en route to the safe house. One night, they visit a large field-like area, and they camp under a large rock. In the meantime, Bobby is sleeping, and Jay and Malik tell him some of the fun things that happened in the past. In the midst of their conversation, Malik sees hundreds of meteors in the sky and praises its beauty. The boy looks up, but sees nothing. It is at this time that Jay begins to suspect that there is something wrong with his father. Early the next morning, as the three are getting ready to hit the road again, they discover that their car has a flat tire, but Malik keeps on driving, hoping they can find somewhere to repair it. Eventually, they come across a car in front of an old cabin. Malik sneaks into the place in search of the keys, but he is suddenly confronted by the owner. Because of this, the two get into a physical altercation. For a while they go back and forth, but ultimately, Malik knocks the man down and escapes. But he gets hurt in the process. Following this, Malik teaches Jay how to drive in order to get them to safety. After several hours of driving, they arrive at a deserted mining town of Los Lunas and spend the night in an abandoned house. The next morning, while Malik sleeps off his injury, Jay drives off to get his father medicine and food. When the owner of the store sees Jay's nervous face, he feels something is wrong. His suspicion is further heightened when the boy gives him a note with some blood stains. Then he goes to Jay's car and offers to help him if he is in trouble. However, the boy pretends to be fine and drives away. As he is making his way home, he hears on the radio that his father is a wanted man for kidnapping his two children. He also learns that his father had lied to them about his secret mission of 2 years. In fact, he was jailed in Leavenworth for assaulting his senior. Meanwhile, the old man's sons, Dwight and Kurt, arrive at the cabin and find him lying down unconscious on the floor. The two of them then called an ambulance and set off to find the man who attacked their father. As they see his car on the way, they begin to chase him. Jay returns to the abandoned house and angrily confronts his father, asking him for answers. There is no other choice, so Malik admits that he was on a secret mission. He also says that his brain has been playing tricks on him. Dwight and Kirk take Bobby hostage before he can talk, and threaten Malik to give himself up. As the latter slowly opens the door, they shoot him back and he has to retreat. He tells Jay to stay out of sight, and then he runs to the car, picks up his gun and fights with them. He eventually manages to save Bobby and catch both men without killing them. Then he takes their car and runs off with his boys. Malik realizes that he is the danger to his own children in this incident. As a result, he stops by a phone booth and calls Paya. He gives her the address of a diner, saying that he will be leaving the kids there. Paya attempts to convince him to give up, but he will not return to prison. He then says goodbye to his kids and keeps on driving. A while later, the FBI agents, along with Hattie, arrive at the diner, but they only find Bobby. It turns out that Jay is still in Malik's car, hiding in the back seat. Malik shouts at him, reminding him that he should be with Bobby, but Jay replies that Bobby doesn't need him. Now the FBI agents and the police are in pursuit of them in their cars and helicopters. They are chased for a long time, until they are surrounded by the authorities and the car is held at gunpoint. Shepard leaves and politely requests Malik's surrender. He also allows him to speak with Hattie, who is the only person he can trust. She tells Malik that his mental health will be taken into account by the authorities when deciding his fate. She also tells him to get the boy out of the car, but Jay refuses to leave his father behind, even after an hour-long standoff with the police. Malik then apologizes to Jay for being an irresponsible father who put his children in danger. He sobs, but the boy tells him that he's still his hero. As they are talking, Malik sees the FBI attempting to creep up to him and gets angry, shooting in the air. Fortunately, Jay is able to soothe him down and remove the gun from his hand. Not wanting to lose his father, Jay runs out of the car and points a gun at the police. Malik is afraid that his boy might get shot and quickly jumps out of the car and diverts the attention of the authorities towards him. As the intense situation escalates, Malik somehow manages to convince Jay to drop the gun and run to him. The film concludes with the father and son hugging, and the police dropping their guns. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.